Alright guys, just after finishing off last week, ending the break-even streak with a nice win, we are back to break-evens. In fact, we got 2 break-evens today, as you can see right there and right there. This trade was honestly not a great trade in my opinion. I'm going to go over what I did wrong, of course, why I should not have taken this trade, and then this trade was pitch perfect. Okay, we just happened to get break-even. I mean, bro, this shit's a curse, bro. It's actually a curse. This price action. Like, bro, come on, dude. Come on, bro. You're telling me we couldn't have got a Reaper model right there and just, like, pushed up off, like, after inversing this? We just had to respect it and come back down, huh? And then, dude, this shit just rode all the way to the top towards TP. Anyways, of course, like always, we're going to remove each drawings and then head into replay mode and then reveal them once I get to that recap. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Doing this recap like madly. Alright, so my dumbass didn't gotta be. Oh, it's that thing again? Alright, 6 a.m. Let's get it. So currently we are at a new all-time high. Wait, is this the right one? No, this is the PM session. You go to 6 a.m. So right here. Alright, so we have all-time highs that were made on Friday. This is the obvious draw right here. As you can tell, we had an SMT, I think. Yep, right there. You see that lovely SMT get put in place with ES. NQ taking this out. ES does not. NQ also taps into this unmitigated 4-hour gap, and then to top it all off, we inverse this 4-hour gap right there. We literally get an entry model on the 4-hour, bro. So this is screaming like mega bullish, mega longs right here. All right, you're not looking for anything else but longs, until we reach this all-time high. Now, if we go down to the hourly, we actually have to go to 9 a.m. 8 to 9. Okay, so unfortunately, this beautiful target already gets hit. We take out all-time highs, but on ES, we do not take all-time highs yet. Okay, we do have a bearish SMT, which is something I don't really like, but if we're bearish, we're gonna determine that on like the other time frames and see which levels look best that we can possibly reject off of, and we'll see what happens from there. So hourly, we inverse this gap. We have a unmitigated. Goodness gracious, bro! If I can just go one video without stuttering, that'll be great. So we respect this gap, we respect that gap, and then this gap or this candle. We wick down towards this gap again, respecting this one, as well as closing inside of this gap, respecting this. So great signs for bullishness again. And we run up towards all-time highs. So yeah, we have that. Now if we go down to the 15-minute, what do we have? For one, if we mark this entire OTE range, and let's actually turn the indicator for the zones. So this was a beautiful long right here. I think, yeah, we took out Asia on both pairs. NQ, this is the candle that we respect of the 2 different hourlies. We fully fill this 15-minute right there. Beautiful rejection wick. You could even take this 15-minute long right there, but I'm pretty sure there's a lower time frame, maybe a 5-minute entry or something like that. Let's actually check. Let's see. Yup, that is beautiful, bro. Dude, low key, trading Asia might be the move. Or London and Asia, bro. Just overnight sessions, because this AM session is fucking dog shit. It's whack. Okay, I'm not doing a full-on trade analysis right here. All we know is this got hit, ran up all the way to all-time highs. Yeah, bro, that was crazy. That's a crazy trade right there. 6 plus R, almost 7. All right, bro. Why did I do that? Come on, dude. That joke's so dead. That joke is so dead. I'm cutting that out the video. But yeah, we have these. So the drawings are revealed. Now I am viewing this low as being protected, because we're delivering from an hourly gap, from 2 hourly gaps, as well as we already took Asia and delivered like crazy. So this low is protected. If we end up coming past this low, I'm not really looking to trade. Maybe if we sweep London, I'll look for long, but at that point, I'm most likely going to be bearish. Okay. So we have this, we have the range marked out here. We have EQ right there, and we have OTE right there, which aligns with this unmitigated 15-minute alongside some liquidity right there. Just great overall levels. And since we did have this SMT up here with ES, this looked very, very clean. And honestly, exactly what I expected to happen actually happened. So as you can tell on NQ, I said this London low was protected, and I would not really be interested if we came down here to go long off here because it's already, it's protected. Now ES on the other hand, since we are pretty close to it, we have not taken all-time highs yet. I'm still interested in this draw getting hit because we also have an unmitigated 15-minute. We have equal lows, and then we have this new week opening gap right there. So I want an off-market open. I want to see us tap down into here. At least, of course, we're going to have, if we take this low, we're going to tap EQ, not really caring too much about OTE or the new week opening gap. Once we take this, I'm ready to take longs. Okay, and would love to see an SMT with that London low while NQ respects this OTE zone right there. So yeah, pretty much what I came into the day looking forward to. And if we just skip down to market open, market open looked like great longs. We tapped into this 15-minute, I think. Actually, we probably didn't, but we did respect this gap, and then we inverse on the 15-minute, so I figured we might just run up to all-time highs, but right when we inverse that, we just dump. Now, whoa, it's kind of too close. So yeah, we just dump, and we'll play out the market from the 1 minute so we can tell what happened. So immediate dump, we tap into this unmitigated 5 and 15-minute. Honestly, I do like longs here. We have a 1 minute gap, and I think we had a 2 minute, like a little further, like up there. But I saw this, and if we look at the point where ES is, that Asia low did not get swept, and I'm very interested in this level. So I'm not looking for any longs until, pretty much until Asia, makes this SMT right there. I don't even know if we got a long here. Okay, no, we didn't, thankfully. Even if we did, would not have taken it. Still chopping up, and then we eventually dump down into that hourly and an unmitigated 15-minute. Let's check the hourly out. So we we passed CE of the hourly gap, and if we check the 15-minute, same thing there as well. So we tap the 50% of both those gaps, and we do get a long here, right there off that 1 minute. Let's check the other time frames. Okay, so we have a 3 minute, which would be the highest time frame, but you would ideally take this 1 minute and then maybe break even at the 3 minute, but by the time we get this 1 minute, it already closes up here on the 3 minute. And let's just check to see if that gap got inversed. Yep, it did. So entries here, stop right there at the body low, targets toward all-time highs. A little bit over a 2R trade, which is great, but we did not take this again because we are waiting for London to be taken on ES, and look how close we are, right? Same thing what happened last week. I think there was like a short that was given on Friday, and I mean, the reason we didn't take the short, of course, was because we were in longs, and then also because ES was like around this distance from all-time highs. So you never want to short against or long or short or just trade in the opposing direction when we come this close to taking out a DOL, okay? Especially if we're looking for that SMT, which we were. So just being patient still. Honestly, I was pretty worried that this shit would play out and I would miss my entry, but looking to take the most A+ model. And then we get that there. Trade gets stopped, so I'm like, I'm chilling. I'm still looking to take this trade, and I think at this point, ES does not yet take it. So I'm still not looking to take a trade, but I'm still very interested in this inverse right there. But of course, if we take the inverse, not taking it until we get ES taking that low out. Okay, so we take London low. Now I'm very open and willing to take longs. Our break-even point is going to be, there was a 15-minute right there. And here's where I went wrong, okay? So we have equal highs, and then we have it's a lot of shit right there, but we have equal highs. We have a 15-minute perfect break-even point. Now, as I'm waiting for this this gap to get put in, not put in, sorry, inversed. It is the highest time frame on this leg. We don't have anything else, right? Let me just be sure. Nothing else. The reason this is the highest time frame on this leg and we're not looking at this is because we put in SMT here. So let me go ahead and mark that as well. Got that SMT. We tap the CE of this wick right here on the 1 minute. And by the time we get this trade, we already smack equal highs and the 15 minutes. So this should not be a trade because our break even is invalid. Was hoping to get an entry around down here and then stops at this low just because we have this new week opening gap that can potentially get, you know, pushed down more to fill. So I was being open-minded for that. So I put my stop at this low instead of down there. And unfortunately, we just ran up and smacked the break-even point. And since it was relatively close, a little bit above a 1 hour trade, I still took it. I pretty much had FOMO. And then immediately we have this death candle here. And I, you know, come very close to new week opening gap, and I'm just praying that we hold this SMT at this point. I'm literally running this trade off hopes and dreams. Yeah, should not have taken this trade. I let the FOMO get the best of me. So that was my mistake. Got to learn from that, journal that, and just be sure to not make this mistake again, because I seriously felt crazy emotion. I felt like shit, dude. I was like, no way I'm starting off the week, you know, with a terrible trade, you know, that definitely could have been avoided. So we run back up, and at this point in time, I'm like, okay, I could leave this trade here and right now, or I could just stick it, because we do seem, honestly, I don't remember my entire thought process on here. I don't remember when I left this trade. So we retrace. I still hold it because yeah, I'm really indecisive, and I should have just left here because I knew this was a bad trade, but you know, I really thought I had pretty strong conviction we'll come towards this all-time high. So we run back lower. I think we tap the OTE. We don't tap OTE, but we still hit that CE of that wick again. Then we reverse back up, and then at this point in time, I'm like, all right, once we smack this high right here, I'm going break even. And then we kind of close like pretty strong against it, or we almost closed pretty strong against it. Then we reversed, and I just left. Okay, I was out of that trade. Wasn't really looking to take a trade again, but I was confident that we were going to run up because we had this 15-minute gap right there. We tapped into the new week opening gap. You know, it just aligned perfectly, and I honestly just horrible, bro, today. Can't believe I took that shit trade. I should have just been more patient. You know, I could have been more patient for something like this, where we end up, so that when we get this trade, we have not closed on the 4 hours. So that 10 a.m. candle has not opened yet, not until here, right? 10 a.m. opens, and we open that new 4 hour, which was right there, as you can tell. And we basically just ran back down and swept that low, making an SMT with ES. So, dude, there's so many SMTs here, external and internal. And then we get that 1 minute inverse shortly after. Right after that, we tap this little range that we have on the 1 minute from the manipulation leg up until now. We tap the CE of that, basically. I don't even know if it's called CE. I've just been saying that recently because, I don't know, it's a part of my vocabulary now. But we run up, break even basically at the 5 minute gap right there. And at this point in time, we edge my break even. Like, dude, same shit that happened on Friday when it edged my TP. It's the same way we edged my break even. And then we had this gap here, so I was like very, very confident that we would just, you know, give a Reaper model, inverse this gap, and then just push up towards at least this high right here. This is honestly like all I was looking for. Main TP, of course, at all-time highs. That's all the way up there. So I was just looking at this high, partialing, and then just taking another partial right there. Yeah, very, very confident. And then we just respect that, push down, I guess, into this order block that we have right there. Some bullshit, bro. And then we run up. We actually run up for a while. We don't hit this until like the PM. let's fast forward that because this is wasting way too much time. Yeah, we hit that around like 2:30 p.m. So yeah, honestly, this trade was nice. Okay, although it was a break-even trade, pretty unfortunate. Stuck to my rules. You know, wasn't even planning on trading. I was supposed to get off at 9:30. This shit happened at like 9:45 almost. And I just saw we swept this low. Wasn't interested in taking a trade until I checked the 4 hour, and I was like, oh shit, that's a 4 hour gap right there. And then saw the S&T and quickly just, answered off that. But yeah, just an unfortunate break even. Great DOL. Everything was right about the trade. Everything was just perfect about it, honestly, except for this one. The trade idea was perfect on this trade. It's just the entry got invalidated, and I took an invalid trade. And if that lost, bro, I would have been so mad at myself because it could have definitely been avoided. So we are definitely going to try not to make this mistake again this week. It's kind of hard to keep your patience whenever, like, all the trades that you see are getting break even right before that. It just makes you more antsy to take a trade, and because you're just thinking about winning, bro, and that's normal. Everybody's gonna think about that. It's just the way you manage it. And today I did not manage that well right here. I let the FOMO get the best of me. But every trader makes mistakes. No matter how experienced you can be in the game for like 10 years, you still find yourself making mistakes. We're human, okay? We're not robots. We're not perfect. So yeah, that's that. Learned a great lesson today, and at least I made up for it with a solid trade. Wasn't gonna take this originally because of what happened here, but I told myself I would be mad at myself if I did not take this trade, even if it lost. I did de-risk on it, like half of what I usually enter, just because it was later in the kill zone, and then this happened, and it's a no news Monday and whatnot. But yeah, I took this because I did not want to miss out on this. This was just 2A+ not to take. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the trade recap. I'll see. I'm gonna go take a shit and go to bed, dude. I was supposed to be in bed like an hour ago, and I'm barely doing a recap. I gotta get better on that too. Sleep schedule. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Peace.